Today on the Trent Out Loud show, I have reasons to believe that Diddy doesn't even care that he got denied bail because all of this is to get the attention of Donald J. Trump. And guess what? According to my sources, it's working. Shannon Sharpe may be able to conduct a great interview, but he has no idea how to pick a good lawyer. Diddy better make room in jail for Gina, because according to y'all, she is going to jail with him. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. And what do I say every single Tuesday morning? Let's just be happy it's not a Monday. All right, y'all, I have a great show set up for you guys today. I have one lead story. Gina Huyuh has people convinced that she is headed to jail over the letter that she sent to the judge in her support for Diddy. I will debunk that and let you guys know what is really good. In quick news, we're going to talk Lil Tay, Shannon Sharpe, Donald Trump, Sydney Sweeney, Jerry Jones, Jay-Z, Latto, Micheal Blackson, Tracy T, and Kash Doll. As always, we're going to close out this show with question of the day, social discussion of the day, comments of the day, and a little bit of sports news. I kind of mixed up the order there, but it's all good. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, we have a breaking story. Sean Diddy Combs denied bail, remains in jail pending sentencing. Sean Diddy Combs has been rejected bail today, and the judge says even if the flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. All right, we're going to get into the actual letter from the judge, and I'm going to break some things down for you guys, okay? At the risk of flight and danger, Combs fails to meet his burden by clear and concise evidence for the reasons set forth by the record at the July 2nd hearing. This type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police with conditions. On this basis alone, Combs' application is denied. He goes on further. Even if the flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. Combs' Mann Act argument might have transaction in a case that doesn't involve evidence of violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of prostitution at issue, but the record here contains evidence of all three. While Combs may contend at sentencing that this evidence should be discounted and that what happened was nothing more than a case of willing swingers utilization with voluntary services of escorts for their mutual pleasure, the government takes the opposite view. That Cassie Ventura and Jane were beaten, coerced, threatened, lied to, and victimized by Combs as part of their participation in these events. This makes this case unlike any of the cases Combs points to and places it outside the narrow expectations to detention that Congress otherwise deemed mandatory. To be clear, as indicated on the July 2nd hearing, the court offers no view on how the parties' complete arguments will cash out for purposes of sentencing, which is happening in just 60 days. At this junction, however, the record doesn't establish the kind of out of the ordinary, exceptional circumstances requiring immediate release. So basically what the judge is saying, and I want to make sure I'm saying the right words, he's saying that the government takes an opposing view, that Cassie and Jane were beaten, coerced, threatened, lied to, and victimized by Combs. And he's saying it's impossible to police that kind of violence with conditions. Now, you might, and he even said, look, when it comes to sentencing, you might want to tell me, hey, we cannot look at that now. But when it comes to bail, I have no choice but to look at that because that's what Congress tells me to look at. So that is just a legal technicality that the judge is siding with. And unfortunately, that's a judge's job. A judge is not there to bring his or her emotion into something. The judge is there to just look at what the law has taught him or her. And from a technical standpoint, he is right. from an ethical standpoint and from a standpoint of just looking and using common sense, you would say, or some would say, hey, the prosecution didn't prove any of these things. Yes, they proved that the CNN tape at the hotel in 2016 that Diddy put hands on her. But all the other times it was quote unquote hearsay, so much of the sense that the jury did not convict Diddy of force, fraud, and coercion against Cassie or Jane. So this violence that he's talking about, the only thing that he could use to point to that is the CNN tape. Now, do we believe that Diddy probably put hands on Cassie and Jane? For sure. We all do. We know that, right? And that's why a lot of you don't want him to get out. But I say all of that to say, in sentencing, all of these things now get thrown out the window, and now the judge will have to be as technical and not use any of these force, fraud, or coercions or beatings or any of these things at sentencing because he was not found guilty of that. And that ties everything back to my bigger issue is that Diddy's team and Diddy's lawyers know that it's a stretch trying to get Diddy out on bail. This is what, their fifth or sixth time? I was literally in the courtroom when Mark Agnifilo and team were trying to get Diddy out on bail the day that his verdict came out. And the judge was like, oh, I'm going to wait till 5 o'clock. I need the whole day. I need to think about this. He got denied then, and he got denied today. Like I said, from what my sources are saying is Diddy is really trying to drum up the public support because at the end of the day, the public is not going to get into the weeds and the letter and the technicalities. And just in layman terms, Sean Diddy Combs is in jail because he was convicted of the Mann Act. And what is the Mann Act? The Mann Act is hiring an escort or a prostitute and having them fly across state lines willingly, and everybody was an adult and consensual. And the general public looks at that guilty verdict of hiring an escort in Philadelphia, and they flew to New York, and that's what he's in jail for. And that is why he's drumming up more and more support. And that is why Trump, according to Trump, if he gets denied bail, he's going to look into his case. And Trump is the master of just simplifying things, of saying, hey, you hired somebody from one state and brought them to another state. It's okay. You're getting a pardon from me. So we'll see what happens in the next coming days. I have my sources out there. I am calling. I am getting this information for y'all. All right. Trump is seriously considering pardoning Diddy. And I'll get the information to you as soon as I do. There's something else I want to say, but I won't say it. Just stay tuned. All right. All right, our first lead story. Diddy's ex, Gina, writes a letter to judge urging his release. I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or to the community. Okay, so yesterday's show, I put this in breaking news. It literally just came out as I started recording. So everybody has had 24 hours to drum over the letter. I read parts of the letter yesterday. Somebody wrote this in the comment section, and literally it was one of the first comments, and everybody was writing the same thing after, even on the blogs. Gina's going to go to jail. Gina perjured herself. How could she be doing this, etc.? I am going to show you line by line why Gina will not be going to jail for this at all, not even close. Does she look crazy out here from the things that she said on Tasha K and the things she said to the grand jury and the fact that she was actually going to be a witness for the prosecution? Yes, she looks totally cray-cray, totally loony. But does it mean that she's going to go to jail? Okay, so let me bring up this comment to give you guys some more context, and then I'll break down the letter and I'll show you the lines and the words that she used to protect herself. So first comment from Pat Nielsen said, Trent, I was wondering, since Gina wrote the letter and admitted who she was, can that get her in trouble? First, no, because yes, she was there as victim 3, like how Jane was. But if the person now wants to out herself and be like, oh, by the way, I was victim 3 to the judge, she can do that. Second thing is, she was a witness that didn't show up, and she also had already testified to the grand jury that he tried to stomp a baby out of her and was putting hands on her and several other things. So can't that whole thing fire back on her and Diddy both? Please comment and let me know what you think. Okay, Pat, thank you very much. Now, I'm going to go to the email. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to do 2 paragraphs and show you the wording, and I'm going to highlight how she protected herself, okay? So it starts off, Your Honor, my name is Gina Huyuh, okay? Then the second paragraph, she says, I acknowledge and respect that Mr. Combs stands accused and that the court must weigh public safety and the integrity of the legal process. At this time, I believe it is important for the court to have a full picture of who he is beyond the allegations. Our relationship, like many others, was not perfect. We experienced ups and downs, and mistakes were made, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. So she's saying, yeah, we had issues. I told you about those issues. Mistakes were made, but listen, this is what she's trying to get through to the judge is, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. Over the years that followed, he made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm he has caused. So she's admitting to everything, but saying, hey, over the years, he's been trying to get to be a better person and admit and accept everything. By the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from his past behavior. To my knowledge, he has not been violent for many years, and he has been committed to being a father first. Again, another line I'd like to highlight. To my knowledge, he has not been violent for many years. So Gina is not negating everything that she said to the prosecution, not negating the things she said on Tasha K to the grand jury, et cetera, et cetera. She's saying all of this is true, but he's been rehabilitated. But a lot of people forget about the court system, jail, sentencing, and all of that, is to find somebody guilty of something and then have the court, jail system, social workers, what's your officer that you get? Your probation officer is to have you admit to your mistakes, rehabilitate, and then put you back into society. So all Gina's letter is saying is all of that is true, but from what I know, he hasn't been violent in many years. And yes, our relationship had ups and downs, but he's a better man today. That's why, although he still got denied bail, it's still going to indirectly help him for the public. It's going to help him for his potential pardon. And it's going to help him just overall because the prosecution at one time had her saying all of these things. But now Diddy's defense team is saying, look, all of these things were true, but he's already been rehabilitated. So at sentencing, she might even come and testify saying, yo, he doesn't need to sit in jail for 4 or 5 years. As a victim that has been through it, I've seen him rehabilitate himself and he's a father. Let him go home to his kids. The work that you're going to do has already been done. Now, whether you believe it or not, we're not talking about that. I'm just here to say why this is a huge win for Diddy and team and why she might even have I think it's called a victim. It's not a victim. Anyways, it's you can come and have like your mom talk about you or your boss or somebody. It's like can't remember the word here, but if they have Gina come and testify like, hey, this is somebody who I went through what he put me through and I feel he's rehabilitated, might help him out. Anyways, yeah, we just got to concentrate on Trump now. That's like, we're on Trump watch. What is Donald Trump going to do? We already know he's been denied. We already know Gina's letter. Trump watch. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Lil Tay reveals she already made $1 million in her first 3 hours as an OnlyFans creator. All right, we told you this story yesterday in our lead stories, and I told you how disgusting it was. I told you that anybody that signs up for OnlyFans should literally give their names to the popo. But Lil Tay put out this Instagram or this tweet. She said, not bad for 3 hours. We broke the F out of the OnlyFans record. She shows her total earnings $1 million, $500,000 from subscription, $25,000 from tips, and $500,000 from messages. You dirty, nasty people messaging Lil Tay. Ugh, should be ashamed of y'all. Here is her OnlyFans page. Freshly 18. Please don't tell my mom. My 18th birthday. Exclusive shots at 12:01 a.m. Oh, the time. Just want to highlight the time. Oh, this was taken 1 minute after I turned 18. So everything is okay, people. Only available for 24 hours. Come and see me in my birthday suit, replying to all DMs. That's where she made money in messages, by the way, replying to DMs. Yuck. Our second quick story. Woman suing Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco for falsely claiming she was divorced while sucking cherries at Usher's concert says she gave them an opportunity to retract before filing the $20 million lawsuit. Yo, Shannon Sharpe has the worst lawyers ever of all times. We told you about this story, that Shannon Sharpe's second lawsuit, and there's actually a third one in the works. But before she actually filed the $20 million lawsuit, she tried to speak to him. She tried to say, listen, Shannon and Ocho, you guys are saying that out here that I was married and now I'm getting a divorce because I was at Usher's concert sucking cherries. That's not true. I wasn't married. Please take it down. Shannon Sharpe's team says they took down the YouTube but didn't take it down on Apple and some other podcast sites. If you are on record, imagine me coming and saying something about somebody on my show. And they come and they say, hey, Trent, this is not true. And they show me proof. Oh, actually, you're not married? Oh, you did? No problem. I will take it down in 2 seconds. Why Shannon Sharpe left it up on some podcast platforms and took it off of YouTube is beyond me. This guy has the worst advisors and the worst legal team known to man. Listen to, I think, don't remember her name, but anyways, listen to the woman who's suing.
Yeah. You gave them an opportunity to even be able to retract it, just to apologize. You sent out emails, letters, you've spoken with people, the producers over there, everything, and still they chose not to take it down.
Absolutely.
Now, in case you guys forget who she was, the lady at the Usher concert, take a look. Our third quick story. Donald Trump finds out Sydney Sweeney is a Republican and he says, now I love her ad. Whatever, Donnie. You loved her ad before. Stop fronting. Take a listen.
Who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican? Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay.
Our fourth quick story. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones calls out Dez Bryant and Roc Nation over false contract claims. We can have a story time if that is what we are doing. All right. This has been swirling around for a couple of days. I'm going to try to break it for you guys down very quickly because this has Nicki Minaj talking. This has Jay-Z, Roc Nation. I'm going to tie it up real quick for you guys. All right. So here is what Jerry Jones said about Dez Bryant and Jay-Z. Take a listen.
You yourself not talk to the agent?
Because the agent, when we have a problem within the team and a player, I don't ever find the agent. He's nowhere to be found. Okay? Jay-Z said that Michael would make all, not Michael, but that Dez would make all meetings. Jay-Z and I negotiated the contract. We spent hours negotiating the contract. Jay-Z finally quit taking my call.
During a recent interview, team owner Jerry Jones explained why he doesn't support agents and aired out what he claims was an unfulfilled agreement with former Cowboys player Dez Bryant, Roc Nation, and even dragged Jay-Z into the mess. Jerry stated that Jay-Z assured him that Bryant would be on time for meetings and stop taking his calls whenever a problem occurred. When you have a problem with a player, the agent is nowhere to be found. Okay. I'm going to show you what Roc Nation answered, but this is all starting because a player on the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, has been very publicly frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys for months, claiming that Jerry Jones and the team's front office hasn't responded to calls from his camp during contract negotiations. So this is how it all started, okay? The drama between the Cowboys, Roc Nation, and Dez Bryant seems to be a very messy situation. Now, Dez Bryant answered and said, Jerry Jones, I don't think it's smart to mention my name. I kept quiet about a lot of unfair-ish on some G-ish. We can have a story time if that's what we are doing. And Roc Nation answered and said, In 2015, at the 21 Club on a napkin, Jerry Jones, Juan Perez, Jay-Z, and Stephen Jones negotiated a 5-year, $70 million deal, which included a $45 million guarantee and a $20 million signing bonus for Des Bryant. At the time, it was the second largest contract for a wide receiver in NFL history. The claim that Mr. Carter nor Roc Nation representatives did not return any call from Jerry Jones is not only a false statement, but is also a comical one. All right, so why is all of this going down? If when you're talking to somebody and about somebody else, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, agents like Jay-Z do these things all the time." You have to think, and you have to read behind you have to pull back the curtains and read the tea leaves. Roc Nation and Jerry Jones are beefing about something else, and he's trying to deflect and bring Jay-Z in to this situation. And like I said earlier, Nicki Minaj is always, for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, trying to bring up anything bad that Jay-Z and Roc Nation is doing. I'm going to keep following and let you guys know, but there is a whole movement right now to bring down Jay-Z and Roc Nation, and every chance people can get, they're throwing in Roc Nation and Jay-Z. I'll keep you guys up to date. Our fifth quick story. Can you get it right? Jeweler asked Latto, the 45th president and the 47th president both have the same parents. How is that possible? But she was unable to answer the question. Y'all know how much I love Latto, but Latto, it's pretty embarrassing. Take a listen.
So $2,000 off if you can give me right answer. Cool? Okay. The 45th president of USA and the 47th president of USA, they both have the same parents. How is that possible?
They got the same parents because God made us all. Because we not on the 47th president yet. That's why.
It is. You want to know the answer?
Okay, I'm not going to play the answer because maybe some of y'all might not get it out there. Answer in the comment section below. How does the 45th president and the 47th president have the same parents? Our sixth quick story. Shannon Sharpe jokes that his pockets are light right now after settling his R-word case. All right, I've been dragging Shannon Sharpe all week, so I got to just keep it fair. What he's doing is good. He was on Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, and I don't know what he owes him like $5,000 or $6,000 from like an old bet. And he was like, "Yo, Ocho, I want my money, man." He's like, yeah, I got you. He's like, "Nah, y'all know what's going on with me. My pockets are light right now. I want my money." He's using the situation that he's in as context. He's using it as content, and he's using it to have a lighthearted, joking moment, which I think is amazing. Because what Shannon Sharpe has to do right now is humanize himself. Yesterday, I told you that Cameron and Mace invited him on to their podcast. It is what it is. And for that exact reason, you could be yourself here. It seems like Shannon is taking my advice. Maybe somebody on his team watches my show. Who knows? But Shannon, keep this up. You need to humanize yourself. You've messed up horribly the past couple of months, but you're still an entity out here. You're still a name. Humanize, and you could get your platform back. Maybe not to what it was before, but you can maybe get some of that money back. You won't have to bug Chad Ochocinco for the 5Gs. Anyways, take a look at what I'm talking about.
Like you do me. Like you do me over $50,000.
Me?
You basically told me I'm going to pay you when I get ready. This we come up on a year. It's a penalty for being late. Pocket's light right now, Ocho. Pocket light right now. Just say pocket light.
That's why I love you. That's what I love. That's what I need.
Our seventh quick story. Rada Darling opens up about postpartum journey with her and Micheal Blackson's child. Says it's just you and I. All right, this is not looking too good. Rada took to IG to share how she had been handling her postpartum journey following the birth of her child with Micheal Blackson, sending good vibes to her as she continues to adjust to the new chapter. And this is what she wrote. She said, "I hide a lot with my smile. I'll have to admit postpartum is tough. You have good days and you have bad days. While I thought I had all the support in the world, I find myself walking alone depending on my little man. It's just you and I, little one, family." So y'all know how this goes. the woman puts like this, indirect thing out there. People start kind of like dragging Micheal, and then he's gonna maybe come out and say something, address, and then they'll probably end up breaking up. That's how this stuff always happens. So we'll keep up with this story, but it looks like things are not beautiful and rosy over in the Micheal Blackson household. We'll see. Our 8th quick story. All right, more baby daddy drama. ZaDarious Smith shares a photo of himself with Kash Doll and her children as they all get dressed up to go to her best friend's wedding. Okay, keep that in mind. So ZaDarious Smith posts a picture with her kids. Then Tracy T, who is the father, steps into the shade room and makes a comment about his son after ZaDarious Smith shares a photo of himself. So he writes and he says, Cashton doesn't want to be there. Then ZaDarious answered and said, N-word, when you are ready to buy school clothes and go half on the tuition, let me know. Look, for me, I've been in this situation before. I think I've told you guys that. And I would love to support and be with a woman that has a child from a past relationship. Because if you love her, I'll have no problem loving her children. However, your ex, your baby daddy, your whoever, whatever you want to call him, he has to want me to be there for his child. We all three got to be in a relationship. I am not, like I said, I made this mistake before. I am not going to be in someone's life and help be a parent and raise their child when the father is fighting me at every step of the way. That is something I'm not doing. I was in that situation before, and it's just not healthy for my own mental health. And I actually just don't think it's good for the children. So while I applaud any man out there that wants to do it, like that's a real man. You stand up, you do that, you love your girl, you love her kids, fine. But I would venture to say the man who is entering the relationship, you have to do a good job and try your best to have a relationship with the child's father. And the woman has to do a good enough job of getting him involved too. And of course, obviously the baby daddy, it's the three of us. And if the dad is out, I'm out. All right, this brings us to comments of the day. You know, it's my favorite segment. But before I do, I have a very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud to get a free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data, and they do it without your consent, making billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, or even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my friend, families, and Out Louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information, your personal information, social security number, credit card, banking, off of these sites, and they keep it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is leaked. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based round-the-clock customer service if anything does go wrong. And in the event that anything does go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft protection package. If you haven't tried Aura yet, link below. Here is a QR code. If you've ever wondered or ever feared about your information being online sold, and this legit company is doing it, try Aura free for 14 days. All right. I already told you one of our comments in lead stories, but I will take one more. Limez, my homie from South Africa, said, shaking someone's hand when meeting them. Bro, I don't know where your hands have been. Can we fist bump or wave instead? 100,000% totally agree. This was to yesterday's question of the day, which was, what is something unhygienic that most people do anyways, even knowing that it's unhygienic. And I totally agree. That's why in the Asian custom, I think it might be all Asian countries, they bow for that reason and not shaking hands. Yeah, I'm like, yo, what up? But I mean, sometimes you got to, but I'm a germaphobe, so I have a thing around me, Purell or anything like that all the time. Yo, when I was in New York at that court case, oh my gosh. Even fist bump, I did maybe those personal, that little personal size bottles. I would maybe finish one in a day. And I know you guys are going to tell me it's not healthy to use it that much, but yo, New York, shaking hands, touching, bouncing, nah, dog. Anyways, thank you very much for all the comments, and thank you to Aura for sponsoring the comment section. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. 51-year-old Trick Daddy says he's not attracted to women over 35. Y'all are damaged goods. Take a listen.
I'm not attracted to no women over 35 years old. Y'all standards are too high. Y'all are too emotional. Y'all are damaged good from past relationship. I am not damaged.
All right, first of all, y'all know me. I hate classifying people. Oh, if you're over 35, you're damaged goods. You're bringing in baggage from relationships. That's not true. I know a lot of women who are over 35, 40, whatever, and they actually have their things way more together because of their relationships and their our past relationships. And they're like, I know what I want. This is what I'm looking for. And this is what I'm not looking for. And this is the type of woman I'm ready to be. And what are you interested in? What are you looking for? Great. And because they have gone through that, they're mature enough and the relationship is amazing. And also, I also know women who are late 20s or early 30s that just came out of a relationship and they're way more damaged than somebody who's older. So you can't just group people in there like that, okay? Second of all, I will say this, and I really don't like to do this because you want to just believe everything that people are saying. But I think what Trick Daddy really wants to say is, I'm not attracted to women that are over 35 because I want a baddie who's 30 years old and everything is standing upright and gravity hasn't taken over. That's what I think he really wants to say, but he's trying to throw it in I'm not attracted to older women because they're damaged goods. Stop it. You bring me a mature woman that knows what she wants, has all her ish together, and is seasoned and ready to go. Yo, I've been through all my mistakes. Now I know. What are you talking about? Yo, holla at me, right? I want my DMs to be popping. Yo, Trick Daddy, stop it. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Cows produce milk, bees produce honey, women produce babies. What do men produce? All right, I know y'all are about to go off. Let's not forget, men produce leadership, protection, and partnership that keeps home running strong. Whoop, whoop, let's go. Next person said electricity, buildings, planes, trains, plumbing, police protection, firefighters, the army, computers, phones, cars, motorcycles, helicopters, etc., and all of which was created by men or vast majority of men. Men produce a comfortable lifestyle for y'all. Okay. Next person said men produce stress, men produce audacity, men produce headaches, stress, strokes, BV. Insecurities, problems, high blood pressure. Do y'all get the picture? Another person said the seed, protection, guidance, and love. A woman can't naturally produce a child without the seed first being planted. Well, it's not really being planted, it's being fertilized, but I get what you're saying. Another person said men produce fertilizer. Another person said, I've never seen a woman create a baby without a man. Men and women both produce babies. We're just here breathing, catching strays for no reason. Mine produces peace, stability, understanding, partnership. A man who takes care of my every need. Can we get a shout out for the real men? You can tell by the comments who is with a real man and who is with some, whatever. Another person said trauma. Somebody said civilization. Lies, headaches, pain, a life with leadership. Get it right. Men produce the baby and women carries it. Study first. All right, I'm handing it off to y'all. What do you guys think men produce? Real men. All right, y'all. That is it for today's show. Thank you so much for kicking with me. Had a fun show. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you one more time to click the link below or scan this QR code and try out Aura free for 14 days. You got nothing to lose. If you've ever worried about any of your information leaked or if it has been leaked, Aura can help you remove it and keep it off so it never goes back. All right. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. If you are used to watching the show on YouTube and you're going somewhere without internet, you can go to any podcast platform and download the show and take it with you to watch it offline. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like the YouTube, we upload daily. Now, that's for my YouTubers. Podcast listeners, thank you so much for all your downloads. However, we want you guys to come over and hang out on YouTube. Digest the show on YouTube. It's a vibe out here, all right? This is where all the Out Louders hang out, and the comment section is lit. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud, 4 things you're going to need to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get the algorithming. Please try to comment. If you don't want to join in on the conversation, at least comment and say, hey, Trent, I'm just watching from whatever city or country or continent you're watching from. This is a global podcast, and I love to see where you guys are from, okay? But join in on conversation too. It's fun. Lastly, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. I'm the most active on Instagram, and my handle for all social media is always Trent Out Loud. On Instagram, we have a blog page called The Trent Out Loud Show, and on that page, we will post some stories before the show and after the show, so it's a way to keep up with us, all right? That is it for me. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!